Hey guys, welcome once again to your favorite channel, the I'm Amazing channel. It was great to get some love from you. A friend of mine said, look, I literally look forward to seeing your channel every weekend. Thank you so much to that. I want to say, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to the channel, and go to the bell so you can keep getting notifications on this one. Today we're going to be talking stuff on the L, remember the PLUG plug series, life hacks. And this is going to be the focus factor. So stay tuned and let's jump in. Almost all activities that our brain carries out basically requires our attention. And so this means that controlling our attention is probably one of the most important things that our brain can do. But to be able to drive value into any activity or any endeavor that we're getting into, we need to be able to filter out all of those important things and focus strictly on all that's relevant. On top of that, focused attention is very critical when you're talking about learning, memorizing, and all of that kind of stuff. So what this means, it follows really that if you can boost your ability to control your attention, then you can really improve at almost anything that you focus on. And when we're talking about the attention systems we actually have two types of attention systems. So it's dual attention systems. We have the bottom-up attention systems, and then we have the top-down attention systems. When we're talking the bottom-up attention systems, we're talking about a framework that automatically helps to redirect our awareness to all the new information, all the new occurrences, like noise, unfortunately, objects in motion, distractions. So it's all about responding to distractions. So you could say this system is basically spontaneous. It literally acts unconsciously. So it's always on every single time. Now the converse is the case when you're talking the top-down systems, because here you're talking about a focused, deliberate kind of attention. This gets spurred on when we're taking on critical work, very important stuff to do, and really requires the control of attention because it requires concentration. Now, in the real world, unfortunately, you would have you have a need to have the top-down concentration. That's what everyone would like. That's what I would like as well. But you don't have the ideal situation. What you have is a consistent tension that happens between the top-down and the bottom-up systems. So every time you try to get the focused attention out there, you keep on getting spontaneous distractions from the bottom-up concentration system. Now, what happens in the real world is that you keep getting this tension, competing requirements from both systems. So you have the top-down, which is your ideal concentration system. You want that because it's driving a whole lot of controlled, focused attention. But then you have it militating with the bottom-up system, which keeps infusing all the distractions and spontaneous reactions and all of that. So this is the kind of tension that we all have in the real world. How do we handle this? Now let's look at one amazing individual who's able to control his attention span swiftly. None other than the amazing Swiss tennis player, unless you're living in Iraq, you should know this guy, Roger Federer. He's earned 6 single titles at the Australia Open. That was before 2004 and 2018. He also holds a total of 103 career titles. That's big. And that's from Wimbledon to the French and the US Opens. That's insane, actually. And today he currently holds the record for the longest period, ranked at #1. And that should be in the excess of 300 weeks. Last time I checked, it was about 302 weeks. Insane, honestly. But on top of that as well, Roger Federer is a great humanitarian ambassador. So a lot of stuff he does. He's great in tennis, great human, but outside of this, also critically, is his ability to brutally focus and control his attention. According to Federer, his two biggest opponents are the player on the other side of the net and, secondly, distractions. So distractions here would be the ball kids, the crowd competing for his attention, even the umpire. What he says is that his consistent performance is achieved by his focus in the present moment. So he looks at the shot he's about to take, the task he has on ground. He focuses only on the things within his control. And what this does is it reduces his tendency to make mistakes and basically accelerates his ability to pivot from errors. So how do we improve our focus? Now let's look at it. Whatever we need to do to accelerate our focus factor, it needs to be things that will help us control our attention, even if it's gradual. Actually, that's the recommended flow. You gradually control your attention, but at the same time, you simultaneously tone down distractions. And we could do this in a couple of ways. The most important way actually is to reduce brain stimulation. According to research done by Chris Bailey, fantastic dude, we all have a maximum attention span of about 40 seconds. And this is why, as YouTubers, as vloggers, as podcasters, we need to make sure we hold your attention. We grab it for the first 30 seconds, because if we miss it then, we literally lose your attention. According to Bailey, if you deep dive further, it shows that our brains are not exactly distracted. That's not the root cause. The root cause is overstimulation. And then what happens eventually, based on that, is our brains then begin to embrace distraction. And this activity is called the novelty bias. And it's very similar to what happens when our brain releases dopamine, which stimulates the same rewards we get when we engage in exercises, we complete specific tasks, or even we have sex. Next would be visual representations. And here, Neely Lavie, a cognitive neuroscientist in the University College of London, actually advises that adding visual representations to all that we're doing actually gives a touch of attention grabbing, and it enhances the kind of attention that we can actually drive or we can be able to achieve based on that. And I guess that's also similar to the phrase that says a picture actually says 1,000 words. The next would be music itself coming to the rescue. And here I can tell you loads and loads of times when I really want to deep dive and focus on something, I just turn into music at the background. Obviously, the kind of classical music that makes sense to me. Once I hear that at the background, it drives my focus level to incredible points. I usually do that when I'm writing my book or when I just want to close on a particular task and get that on real fast. This happens because music in itself is therapeutic. What it does is it soothes and relaxes the brain, which in turn allows the brain to reduce all the cravings for distractions. Remember again, the moment you're able to tone down on that stimulation, at the same time, you increase your ability to manage your attention, and so increase concentration. Now, the next way to improve our focus factor would be adopting a powerful mechanism called meditations. This can significantly improve our ability to control our attention. And long-term meditators have shown actually that thicker parts of the brain are associated with the ability to control attention. Research has proven that between 10 and 20 minutes a day of meditation, and here, serious meditation, is sufficient to enable you have noticeable improvements in your attention span in just around 4 to 5 days. And the final one is exercises. And very interesting discovery from scientists has shown that exercises can actually improve the brain's capacity to ignore distractions. They're not exactly sure why. But researchers have shown that students that engage in some form of moderate physical activities, exercises, ahead of taking a test actually perform better than those that did not. At the end of the day, all the things we're able to learn, the kind of relationships we're able to build, and all the tasks and activities we're able to achieve versus what we plan to do would be a sum total of the amount of focus that we're able to drive into what we're able to do. And so it follows that we need to continually strive to control our attention, and by that improve our concentration and ultimately accelerate our focus factors. Thank you so much for staying to the end of this. Once again, do not forget to click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that, and click the bell button to keep getting notifications to this. Stay amazing, guys, and say to yourself, I'm amazing. See you next time.